Hi.
Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. I'm Anthony Spartacus Tamayo. This is Echoed Influence. I'm here as always with Modest Betty herself and our best friend,
Hi.
Nina Rose.
Hey,
How are you, Nina?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
So, what is our theme this week?
Our
Can you
theme
tell
for the
me?
week is friends. How many of us have them?
Mhm. And so, from what we talked about in our last segment, we're talking about being selective of our friends. And I don't know, there was a good medium between choosing Nina and Nina choosing us. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know, we were just put in the right spots at the right time. And that friendship grew because we were learning a lot from her. And she's also, in turn, we're trying to teach her whatever we can. So on top of that, we started to do some training in the Ludus and everything. And before we get into anything else, I just want to know your opinion on the Ludus real quick.
It's been game changing, most definitely. I mean, I think when we started training was also around the time that I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a change in like my lifestyle and all this stuff. And in my head, I was always like, okay, I gotta work out like a bunch and like go really hard and like do like crazy gym stuff. And then I got to the Ludus and it was like, no, this is really fun.
Yeah.
And then after practice, it's like you feel that like, oh, I worked and I did like a workout and like I did whatever. But I think one thing that I don't like walking around and like not knowing what to do in case something happens, like when I'm out with my friends or like out with my family and stuff. And I think the Ludus gave me a sort of ease and like just on the streets because it's like
some confidence.
Yeah.
You know what's important too, just like doing math homework, it's important to keep doing it. That confidence, you'll lose it if you don't practice it. I gotta admit, like going back into training with you guys, I mean, it wasn't particularly like oh God, like I can't wait to do this. It was more like, shit, what's gonna happen to me, And it's like my confidence went down, and it wasn't until I grabbed a hold of you guys, it was like, oh, okay, I remember this. I remember how to do that.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, like, you've been coming along exponentially. Is that the word? Fantastic. She's just a fantastic student. She gets it, and like she rolls with guys even bigger than myself, and she just gets a hold of them and just, man, at the end of practice, they're just like, she's an animal. Like I can't get her off. I can't get her to stop. None of the above, So AP, anything on the friends? Like, how did you meet Nina? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
I think I was her sub. I think I subbed for her a couple times.
Yeah, you're always like to be honest, of the subs I can remember or will ever remember, it was always you. It's like, oh, like Miss Rodriguez was subbing, it was gonna be chill ass in class, but like we're gonna like get stuff done. You know what I mean?
And then after that, I think it was I saw you performing or saw your stuff on Instagram, and then I think I don't know if I reached.
I think you reached out to me for the first one, and then I think.
Oh yeah, we needed performers or something like that for Home Gallery.
Yeah, for Cool Folk, I think it was.
I see. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Just put in the right place at the right time. That's around the time when I was trying out my art and seeing if it would work. And I remember just meeting Nina and just being like, wow, it's just freaking awesome at the Uke, And April assured me too. She goes, watch, we'll see her a lot more often though. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that was awesome. So any projects you're working on right now?
Yeah, I've been working on. So I started this thing. It's called Whiskey Week, and basically it's gonna be like 9 installments of I guess like mixtapes or albums or EPs or whatnot. I'm on the third one.
Okay.
That one's coming out in October of this year, October 13th. That's pretty much that's really all I'm working on. I've just basically been writing songs. And then in about a week, I'm going to be sitting down and going through every single one of them and picking out which ones are like the best ones.
Like Nina's greatest hits?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm excited for that.
I like that.
That's a serious, though, like a lot of people are going to love that shit. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people that we follow, like alike, like that. I knew them and I didn't know you also knew them. And like, I'm trying to remember her name. Michelle Suerta, like she's a huge fan of yours. And she's a good friend of the family's, and so is her mom. we know her whole family, and she like almost every performance that she goes to, she puts you on live, and I go, hey, I know her, I train her. And there was a few times where I posted you up, and she was like, you know Nina? I was like, yep, I know Nina. I train with Nina, you know.
That's cool.
So it was like you're the local celebrity.
Hey.
Most hated by enemies. Tupac. So other than that, I mean, do you ever watch some of our episodes? Like on this one, like I said, we were talking about friends. Can you explain to us the importance of selecting your friends?
Ooh, it's really funny that this is because I didn't know what was like the topic today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually something I've been going through in. Okay, I think there's one quote that I like to. Or I don't know if it's a quote because I don't know who said it. I can't be like this person said it, but it's you're the average of the 5 people you hang around.
Oh.
And I can't remember if I read it or if I like somebody told it to me, but that always has been in my head since that point in time where I ingested it.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you? Like that?
Yeah, I think it's one rule I've lived by is no one's too good as to give away a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's very important to be selective of who you're around because you're literally giving energy and receiving energy.
Yes.
So if you have the wrong kind of people around, and not necessarily like, oh, they're doing drugs, they're doing bad stuff, but there's some people who just literally take energy from you without giving anything. That literally is a direct effect to what it is you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think one thing I've realized in doing this, I've been making music for the past 2 years. So I've gone through many a friend because I've realized in moments of when I say, no, I got to work on my dream, who gets mad and who is like, no, I understand. Yeah. And it's those people that you have to realize who are around you. Because a
lot of people, like your true friends would do that. Just be like, they would understand. A lot of the other ones will write you off and say, you know what, she's dodging me. She's, she doesn't want to hang out. She's making that shit up. And it's like, yeah, but look at the end result. Like you're on here, you're making music, and that's undeniable.
I think it's just like that's a different people on a different level. Like they're just not there yet. They don't understand that it's not personal, and they just not that they're not good friends. It's just that they're not where you're at, like you said, and they're not where you're going yet. You know. And as much as you want to take those people with you, you can't. They have to realize it at their own pace or speed or,
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that, too. I think some people hear that, like, oh, I'm selective with, like, friends. But I'll tell people left and right, like, I keep my tribe real small because if I'm at the top, then we're all at the top. And I'm not trying to have some crazy, or not crazy, but I want to make sure that who I am is also represented, you know what I mean? And what we all stand for is represented versus just letting everybody just come along for this crazy ride.
Exactly.
Thinking that's how it's supposed to be when it's more of, I think, knowing what tribe is and knowing what you all stand for and knowing, you know what I mean? I think that's what helps you being selected.
I feel when it comes to tribe too, it's like there's an understanding that there's enough, I guess, success. I mean, tribes probably wouldn't look at it as such, but there's enough success and all that stuff to go around for everybody. Like not one person has to shine out the other. In fact, I mean, tribes would only look into everybody else's strengths and what they're,
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what Home Gallery ends up becoming,
Yeah.
It's this place where you could demonstrate your strengths and then get them stronger.
Yeah.
Where would you say is a good place to meet friends that are like-minded?
I would say first start off, like, what are you trying to do with your life? Because I think when I honed in on, like, all right, this is what I'm doing with my life, I started meeting like-minded people, not even in the same sense of like music, but like-minded in the sense of where we're trying to go with what art we're doing or what our dream is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some people that you would think like, oh yeah, we hang out a bunch because we're in music, when really like some of the people I hang out with don't even do music, but we're just on, like you guys, we're on the same grind of like what we're trying to do and where we're trying to be, but it's with art and podcasts and training versus music. You know what I mean? And I think that's where you start, is literally focusing in, honing in on what is it you're trying to do. Because then you start weeding out all the like bad habits in a sense, and you start seeing all the negative aspects in certain people of your life that you're like, not, how do I put that? Like, I would say just start there. Like
Yeah.
literally, what is it you're trying to do? You're trying to make music. Start making music, because then those like-minded people are gonna come. Because you're gonna start building
you
good
can even
habits.
strip away those who aren't,
Yeah.
on the same ride as you. We were talking about that too, like how it's just some friends are there to support you to the end, and some of them are just there for 5 years, teach you your lesson, and they got to move on. It doesn't mean that they love you any less or anything.
Yeah.
The lessons learned, me sticking around with that person will only cause me to go backwards in life when I'm going forward, as they have to go forward too and endure it. Or in some cases, it's sad to say, in some cases you need to separate because you guys are onto different paths, and that's something you just got to let go. And it's for the best. It's not always bad, but like be selective, and like you said, go in and indulge in whatever event it is or activity, and then the right people are going to come. They're going to come and attach to you. Well, I'm good. I'm really excited about that live performance. If we can get to it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you stick around, we're going to get Nina on and give us a live performance, and stick around. Peace. And the end, AP. The end. No, just share it, AP. Quick, share it.
Okay. There you go.
Short and sweet. Nice. Was it short?